Today, we are going to talk about a culture of feedback, but from an agency perspective. So, we are going to zoom out of the therapy room where a culture of feedback is also really important and think more about what does it mean to have a culture of feedback in supervision, in team spaces, and really on an organizational level. To do this, I have asked some clinical directors, supervisors, managers, and other agency leaders of organizations in Oregon that are implementing feedback-informed treatment to share some examples of what they are doing at their respective agencies to help contribute to a culture of feedback. My hope is that it gets your wheels turning about things that you can do to strengthen a culture of feedback at your own organization.
As a leader, I support a culture of feedback by encouraging risk-taking and mistake-making. Our leadership team normalizes mistakes by sharing them together in group and team meetings. This shared experience helps us learn and grow together and encourages more innovative approaches in our work. We aspire to continue to improve our services for the entire community and regularly ask for feedback from clients and teams. While we do collect feedback in formal ways like through surveys or comment cards, we emphasize the value of real-time feedback in order to be as responsive as possible toward change and improvement.
I would like to support a culture of feedback at my agency by sharing monthly tips about feedback-informed treatment in our internal agency newsletter. In the past, I've done something similar where I shared monthly fit tips to leaders. And I would also try to catch their interest by including funny memes or pictures that were related to the subject. And I would also include like clinical anecdotes of my own experiences with fit, whether they were my own successes or valuable learning experiences.
I contribute to a culture of feedback by inviting it, by digging in with people, moving at the speed of trust on what does feedback mean. When have there been times when praise left you feeling embarrassed? When have there been times when being asked to pivot actually felt okay? And taking the information from the past to inform how we're going to move forward in the future, and doing a little bit of proactive planning around how are we going to communicate with each other when things don't go according to plan. When inevitable rupture happens, how will we repair? And what's that going to look like? And having the flexibility of knowing that we're drafting an infrastructure and building it interaction by interaction, and that can change over time, and that's okay.
To improve the culture of feedback and to raise awareness in our agency, we have created flyers and posted them throughout our facilities. We posted these flyers in different and most fun and high traffic areas, such as employee break rooms, hallways, group rooms, above the copier, in the bathroom, outside of the bathroom doors. And here are a couple of examples.
I contribute to a culture of feedback by trying to listen for and identify specific example of indirect client feedback during supervision sessions. Ideally, obviously, we are formally asking for feedback, but a lot of the time I think our clients are giving us indirect feedback that clinicians don't always notice. Rarely, I think, do our clients come in and say, here, I have this feedback for you, get ready to hear it. More often, they are giving us that feedback throughout the session in the hopes that we pick up on it. So my hope would be that by keying clinicians into that type of feedback during supervision, they're more readily able to do that in sessions themselves and be able to then make space for a formal feedback conversation in real time.
One way I promote a culture of feedback on my team is through orienting new staff to that when they start, they get to be a learner, and that our team will be a safe place to learn and ask questions and make mistakes. I use feedback-informed supervision in terms of asking for feedback about supervision so that they get the habit and practice of giving and receiving feedback. And I usually give an example early on of how I've used staff feedback to make changes in my own practice. Thanks.
As you can see, there are a lot of different things that you can do to contribute to a culture of feedback. What really stands out to me is that it's an individualized process over time. So it's not that I asked you for feedback once and magically we have a culture of feedback. It really is thinking about what are structures we can put in place, habits we can develop, and invitations that we can extend on an ongoing basis to solicit feedback from staff and really engage in this growth-oriented feedback process. With that, my invitation to you is really to spend some time thinking about what is my feedback style? What do I already do to contribute to a culture of feedback? And really, what might be my next step in strengthening a culture of feedback at my own organization?